Welcome back to Ritual Hobby and Art. This is a set of puzzles that I got for Christmas. Very much like a set that I featured recently from Einstein's Lab, made by Professor Puzzle. This is the wooden version. So these are wooden puzzles called Great Thinkers Puzzle Collection, set of 6 wooden puzzles, and it shows some of history's most famous thinkers with puzzles named after them. Now, these puzzles are actually well known in the puzzle world. They have different names. I have a few of them, but not all of them. So we have Galileo's star puzzle. We have Archimedes' sphere puzzle. Darwin's chest puzzle. Kepler's planetary puzzle. Da Vinci's cross puzzle. And I believe it's Halley's comet puzzle. Comes in this box that kind of looks like an old trunk. It has sort of the wear patterns and the metal. I mean, it's all paper, but it has those sort of metal corners to make it look like a rugged case. And here's shows the 6 puzzles, and I'll show them in more detail. I will say that I have this one, Halley's Comet, but I know it as the snowflake. It's a snowflake puzzle. I have a version of the sphere puzzle. And I also have a version of the star puzzle, but I've never done it. And so I'm going to hold off doing the version I have and use this one instead. I'm going to go ahead and open it up and pull out the puzzles and we'll take a look. Okay, there are the puzzles. It does come with a sheet that has all of the solutions, and I will fold that up and put it away because I don't want to look at that. I keep all my puzzle solutions in one place. Now, it's not the trash can, but it might as well be. I really don't want to be looking at solutions. So, see if I can, there we go. Keeping this like sort of in this shelf configuration is really nice for at least showing them in this video. The sizes are a little larger than the ones that I have. Like, for instance, this one, which I believe they're calling Halley's Comet, this is the one that I have of that same type. This one was made by MI International, I believe. I got it from a Second and Charles, a secondhand bookstore years ago. Probably 2018, 2019. I just recently put it back together. Took it apart and put it back together. It took me about an hour. This would be about the same thing, but, you know, working with different wood be a different way of, might come apart a little smoother, a little different. I don't know. I mean, I can tell it's the same puzzle, but I think when I do them, I'll do this one last because I've done this, you know, so recently. But yeah, I can see this piece will probably be the first one to come out. These are generally, all of these are generally referred to as Burr puzzles, B-U-R-R. And I'm not sure why they're called that way. I know that I've always had trouble with Burr puzzles, just about as much trouble as I have with disentanglement puzzles. But anyway, so this is the Halley's Comet. It's going to be a bunch of pieces about the same, you know, for the most part, they're all going to be this. All are going to be the same, but there's going to be some differences to them. And so taking this apart and putting it back together is the key. This one up here, Archimedes' sphere. That's what they're calling this one. I have a version of this, smaller, made of kind of more of a pine type of wood. But I could tell this is exactly the same thing. I've done that one a few times. You can tell this wants to come apart, and that's usually how these things work. The way a Burr puzzle works is one piece comes out. There's usually one piece. I'm going to guess this is the key. Once this piece comes all the way out, the whole thing will just fall apart. And so you want to keep that part in so it doesn't fall apart right now, because I don't necessarily want to solve it right now. But that, without giving too much away, there's usually one piece of wood that comes out, and that is what we call a key, and that's what holds it together. And then another one, Galileo's star. So this is the other one that I have one like it, I believe. Not sure. There are several different star puzzles out there in the sort of Burr puzzle world. So I'm thinking this and this are the same thing. So this one, if you had seen my video on the 2025 puzzle haul, this was included, even though it was bought at the very end of 2024, but I didn't ever do it. And so I think these two are the same. Yeah, I'm looking at this one, and it does look about the same. I will do this one first because it was a gift, and then I'll do this one some other time in the future. But this is a much larger version of that. So this is the Galileo star. Then the last three puzzles, I have no experience with them at all. This first one, so this one is called Darwin's Chest. And yeah, I've never handled anything like this, but I can tell it's got some moving pieces. I'm going to bet that when this thing comes apart, it's going to be a pain to get it back together again. These things are all moving, and I don't want to move them too much because they probably get moved just slightly and the whole thing falls apart. So it's a very intricate design. It may be one of those puzzles where they're all exactly the same piece and they're just fit together a certain way. But anyway, I look forward to trying that one out, giving that a try. This is Da Vinci's Cross. This is another one that I suspect all the pieces are exactly the same piece and they all fit together a certain way. And I've never done one like this before, so I'm not sure how it's going to come apart. It really does feel like it's all interlocked together. So yeah, that'll be a fun one to try to take apart and put back together. So this is Kepler's planetary puzzle. And I'm guessing they say planetary because it's the closest to a sphere, although it's obviously not a sphere at all. Now, if you have gotten into these type of puzzles, you'll know that even in simple basic puzzle sets like this, there might be a barrel-shaped thing, something that's shaped of a barrel, or a ball, or a star like this one, maybe a square, something like that. Here's one that I have that's diamond shaped. And so this is one I got. This is made by Creative Craft House. I bought at a Mass General store years ago. I think it's called Diamonds Are Forever or something like that. And it's basically a diamond shape Burr puzzle. Pieces of wood. They're not all the same piece. They're fit together very nicely. And I have a barrel version of a Burr, but I don't have a circle or a square. So things to get one day. We do have a piece here that kind of wants to move. I'm guessing that that's the key, that this will remove and the whole thing will come apart, and then we'll try to put it back together. So I have not worked with one like this. It's got a lot of complexity to it, in my mind at least. I've seen Burr puzzles like this that are huge, that have like, I don't know how many pieces this has, maybe 24. I've seen things that have like 50, 60, 100, 200 pieces. They're not maybe commercially available, or they might be, hard to find, but I've seen things of Burr puzzles that are just massive, with lots of pieces, and that is like a little too challenging for me. So this is one to really get started with. So that's another one to look forward to. So again, this is Great Thinkers Puzzle Collection, set of 6 wooden puzzles, and it's from Professor Puzzle, which I believe is an English company. Here's UK, Canada. So you don't see this a lot in the United States, but they do have some. Let's see, Professor Puzzle in London, in Dublin, Ireland, in Chicago, Illinois. but I have not ever heard of Professor Puzzle before getting the set that I showed in the other video, the metal disentanglement puzzles, where in Einstein's lab, I guess it was different kinds of puzzles. And now there's this one, and I look forward to doing it. If you're interested in getting into puzzles and solving puzzles, this is a great. These are some really good puzzles to start out learning to do. Now, like I said, I've only done these two. This was a fun one to take apart and put together, and I've done it several times, take it apart and put it together. This one I've done a couple times. I will say the first time I did this, I couldn't get it back together, and I had to use a solution to help get it back together. This last time I did it in about an hour. And so that means that these others could be just as challenging. And I've never done these three or this one. So yeah, they are, but I would highly recommend them for anyone who is interested in getting into puzzles. They're relatively easy to purchase. Get them at a hobby store or a toy store or online. So thanks for watching.